Hey friends, how you doing? Welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm the TheTranspondster and I do speed builds, let's plays, some creative sims in The Sims 4. Today, if you haven't already gathered, we're doing a speed build and we are in the newest world, Nordhaven. It came with the businesses and hobbies expansion pack. It's kind of a European architectural style. I'm going sort of Swedish based. And yeah, that's kind of our basis here. That's where we're bringing our touch of realism from. And today I am building a small business residential lot. This one is actually set up to look as though it's two small businesses. Obviously, that's a lot for the game to handle, so it is just set up like it is one business for actual gameplay, but it's two separate entrances, two separate shops on the first floor. One set up to be a cafe, and the other is sort of a farmer's market. I would think that you'd operate this more as a cafe, and then if you want to make the farmer's market side at least somewhat functional, on the front I included one of the market stands that you could use the garden beds that I add in off to the side, sort of to the back, to grow your own veggies and then sell them at that front table. You'll notice on the inside too, I end up loading all the shelving with fruits and veggies and all that fun stuff. So it does sort of look like a farmer's market, but also a sort of make do situation with what I had in the game. I did base this off of somewhere random in Sweden. I just kind of Google Maps myself into an area that I thought looked nice, was kind of a little bit more of a shopping district vibe, which is what I wanted here with the small businesses. I very much section it off like they're owned separately, but they very much are not. And then I have these bikes kind of parked there. I don't add in a bike stand, but you could. I believe there is a debug, like, pole type looking thing for bikes in the for rent pack that you could search out, but I think they look just fine parked there. It's just a designated bike area. When it comes to the apartment upstairs, it's actually a massive freaking apartment here. I debated making one of the shops two-story, but like no second floor, just open to the ceiling kind of thing with a nice grand sort of vibe. But I decided to go cozy instead, and which then resulted in this massive apartment. So then I decided that the family that would live here and own this small business would be kind of a generational family. I've been doing a few of those family types lately, mostly because I don't want all my Sims families to be just them. I want them to have at least a little bit of connection dribbled out throughout the world, even though most of these families are ending up living together anyways. But this is going to have maybe a late adult couple with their fresh young adult children and their infant living with them. I haven't 100% decided if the main parent's age will be elder or adult yet. I'll have to kind of go with the flow when I do the actual create a sim video, which I have not done yet. For this one, built the home without the Sims in existence. Usually I like to do it the other way around because I feel like I get to know the Sims a little better that way, whereas the other way I'm trying to remember how I built the house for them. So yeah, at least when I've got the Sims made, I can flash back to their likes and, style preferences, all of that fun stuff when I'm doing the build if I forget throughout. So at least it's nice to have that option, which I don't have in this situation. But I'll be just fine making this family because it'll be fresh in my head from doing this voiceover. Honestly, I am probably going to be jumping into that pretty much right after I finish this up. So we'll see where my night takes me. Actually, I do get the open close sign on the one side there. I don't put it on both sides because I didn't know how that would impact gameplay at all, if that's even a functional item. I haven't done any gameplay for this pack yet, so functionality wise, I am not 100% sure what we're dealing with here. In my mind, though, because we're operating like a cafe, this should work no problem because they showed that cross-pack compatibility in the expansion pack for this, making the whole cat cafe thing. And I used the cafe table, bar, whatever you want to call it, counter that came with that Businesses and Hobbies expansion. So all things considered, this should work seamlessly. Considering the fact that it is The Sims, it might be a little buggy. But from what I've been reading online and hearing in, YouTube reviews and all of that, let's call it research, whatever. Yeah, I'm finding that not a lot of people are talking about the same kinds of massive bugs and glitches that we usually get in these expansion packs. I know it did end up breaking quite a few mods in terms of mod users. I had to wait a decent chunk of time for Better Build By, and then I didn't really notice that there were bugs with it, but there were some chunky bugs that came along with the original update, so then the mod creator had to update again, which no big deal. I can be patient as much as it kills me to build without Better Build By these days. I can get by enough. So it sucks not having my debug organized, but at the end of the day, I understand that it's something free that someone's making for my game to be better, so I can appreciate what I get. And anyway, for those that use more mods, I imagine you had way more mods broken, but I am pretty limited in what I do use, and most of those mods are updated same day, so I am blessed in that sense. I don't want to say that I love how this little shop turned out here on the left side. I think the shelving on the wall ends up looking a little awkward just because of the placement of things. I tried to alt place as much as I could, but it never really, looked how I envision this, particularly when we get into these fruits and veggies. I guess I was hoping I could work more off of things like sugar and flour, but then you find out that we only have sugar and flour, so that wasn't exactly doable, but I did end up making do, as you see, with all these apples and peppers, tomatoes. I think there's lettuce there. I don't remember what the last thing we go for here is, but watermelons. It was because they couldn't place there by themselves, so I had to raise those ones up and everything. I also don't know how this little cake counter will work, but if it ties in with the cafe side of things, that might be kind of a nice added touch because it'll draw the Sims over to this side of the business as well. So you're welcome. Plus, your employees score 2 break rooms out of this, 2 fridges, 2 microwaves, maybe. And, if they work on the farmer's market side but want a comfy place to sit, head on over to the cafe next door. No big deal. They got a couch in their break room. So that's a little nice bonus that you get if you work here. I also put this little fridge in because you could see through and see some veggies and stuff. So I thought that was a nice little detail added into this side of things that drew in the market feel a little bit, I guess. I don't know. I know it's nothing major or drastic that goes, oh yeah, that's definitely a farmer's market now, but it's something. I honestly really used to love the idea of working in a cafe, but when I say cafe, I don't mean a Starbucks. I mean like a hole in the wall mom and pop kind of cafe that isn't necessarily the same kind of busyness as a Starbucks would be. You're not constantly on the go with drive-through lines and all of that chaos. So yeah, that would have been more my vibe. But now that I work a fast-paced environment, like my day is done in the snap of a finger. I don't know if I could work in a small business like this. Like time might just pass way too slow. And not to, come down on anyone that works those jobs, because thank you for making my coffee. And thank you for being able to work a slower paced job. It sounds not that great when you say a slower paced job, but like obviously not everything runs in like a go 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 kind of fashion. Some things need to be kind of toned down, and a coffee shop is one of those things. If my barista was like, okay, order up, throw her down there, and whatever they call out in the kitchen, I don't know. I worked in a fast food place once, but it was such a small blip in time. But if they were yelling at each other like that in a coffee shop, and timing how quick they could make my latte, that they put a little fancy piece of art in the top, it's just not the same vibe. So I guess that's what I'm getting at. I can't work in a slow paced environment like that, because I would literally just watch the clock in every spare second that I had. But I really appreciate the people that can, and I hope that they feel the same about someone like me who thrives when there is a line and under pressure and people yelling, and just different characters do better in different jobs. That's why it's good that we're not all the same, or society wouldn't function. I kept the style in this build pretty, I guess, contemporary, maybe a little mid-century. A lot of it is what came with the business and Hobbies expansion. I actually believe I used a somewhat limited pack build, but I don't want to quote me on that, because it's hard to tell. I'm seeing a lot of base game furniture here, and I'm seeing a lot of businesses and hobbies, and I built this one before I built another build that I've got, on the go, so I'm having a hard time remembering, but I am thinking that I sorted out to use very minimal packs, and if I didn't, then I should have, because I probably really could have here. And how I set this apartment up, because it is somewhat multi-generational living, there is only one kitchen and one living room. However, I do, because the first floor of the apartment has the living spaces a bathroom for guests, and the master and ensuite. This is where the grandparents, the main parents of the family, will live and go to sleep at night. Then upstairs, there are 4 additional bedrooms, a laundry room, and a full bathroom. And so with those 4 bedrooms, because I only have 3 more Sims, a couple and an infant, I decided that they would obviously have a bedroom and the nursery. But then with the other 2 rooms, I did like an office space, and then I did a living space. And the office space one day could then be converted into a second child's bedroom if they did end up having more children in the future. They could then have children share a room or take over the second living space that's in that 4th bedroom, and now they just share all the living space with their parents downstairs, which wouldn't be the end of the world. And honestly, maybe at that point, the parents downstairs are like, okay, you guys take over the business. We're going to retire. We're going to travel the world. We're going to downsize to a small apartment somewhere, and you guys deal with this responsibility. Because yeah, honestly, if I was old and, retired or trying to retire from something I've done literally every day for my whole life, I might want to be like, peace, see ya. Maybe I'll come back, but we'll see. I'll come back for the holidays, but you got the chaos of life now. You're welcome. Welcome to the world. I don't know. Here's rambly me again. All over again. I am going to commit in saying that this is a limited pack build. Good on me. I have a feeling we're dealing with like get together, get to work, businesses and hobbies, and base game. Oh, and naturally laundry day, because we got all the laundry equipment in here ready to go. I might be missing like 1 or 2 hampers, but is it really that big of a deal? They all just collect there anyways, as long as they're nearby. Or you can just drag and drop, which is usually what I do with dishes and laundry and any random garbage lying around, especially the baby bottles and diapers that come with infants. Oh my goodness, it's insane. Who knew there could be that many? Because my real life baby doesn't do that amount of bottle drinking and diaper filling. I think, I don't know. Sims is chaotic in its game style, but that's what makes it the game that we all love. So anywho, I'm going to start to wrap things up now, because we're getting to that point in the build. Not a whole lot of landscaping on this one. So thank you so much for being here, hanging out with me, watching along, and hopefully watching more of my videos. It means the world that you're here giving me the time of day. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, keep showing that support, bringing it through into that YouTube algorithm so that other people that like similar videos to you can find me as well. And most importantly, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye guys.